1.
Pause.
Pause.
There was a brief pause during the class when the teacher stopped to drink some water. Pause.
Pause. The clever girl gave a quick answer to the teacher's question without even pausing to think. 2.
Haunt.
Haunt.
Still haunted by memories of the war, the soldier often has bad dreams about the terrible things he had seen in the bloody battles.
Nobody dares to go near that haunted house because it is believed that people were murdered there before. 3.
Assessment.
Assessment.
Written exams are one of the forms of assessment that teachers use to measure how much information students have absorbed. Assess.
Assess. The research team assessed the impact of air pollution on the human body and concluded that it greatly influenced our lungs. 4.
Scheme.
Scheme.
The man thought that he could make money by importing goods illegally, but he was arrested by the police after his scheme was discovered.
The company has launched a training scheme that aims to help new employees master the skills they need for their jobs as soon as possible. 5.
Penalty.
Penalty.
In Taiwan, the maximum penalty for drunk driving is 200,000 NT dollars.
6.
Casual.
Casual.
Steve might have sounded relaxed and casual when we were discussing that matter, but he was actually very concerned about it.
You should not wear casual clothes such as jeans and t-shirts to a job interview. 7.
Imply.
Imply.
Although the manager didn't say anything to Ms. Earle, his smile implied that he was satisfied with her work. Implication.
Implication. In many European countries, tracing a circle in the air at the side of one's head with the index finger carries the implication that someone is crazy. 8.
Profound.
Profound.
Without a doubt, the invention of smartphones has had a profound impact on the lifestyles of modern people.
9.
Stir.
Stir.
Charlie's emotions were stirred by the old songs that reminded him of his childhood.
Iris put milk and sugar into her tea and stirred it. 10.
Obedience.
Obedience.
Obedience is required in the military even if the soldiers do not agree with the orders. Obedient.
Obedient. Pete has an obedient dog that always follows his instructions.
Obey.
Obey.
It is important for each and every one of us to obey traffic rules in order to prevent accidents.
11.
Confront.
Confront.
My parents confronted me with a choice between college and job in my last year of high school. Confrontation.
Confrontation. The restaurant manager stepped in to stop a confrontation between the two groups of customers that were fighting for a parking space. 12.
Wreck.
Wreck.
The house was wrecked by the thief at midnight, and the whole process was recorded by the CCTV. Wreck.
Wreck. Everyone who witnessed the car accident breathed a sigh of relief when the driver was saved from the wreck. 13.
Pressure.
Pressure.
Under the pressure from his agency, the actor had no choice but to star in the film that he was not interested in at all.
Many believe that the quiet countryside is a perfect place for people to get away from the pressure of work. 14.
Consult.
Consult.
The local residents are furious at the government's decision to build a power plant near the town without consulting them first.
People with heart disease are advised to consult their doctors before they start any exercise program.
Consultant.
Consultant.
The company has decided to hire a marketing consultant to give some advice on how to increase sales in the following quarters. Consultation.
Consultation. Benjamin won't decide which college to apply for before further consultation with his teacher. 15.
Obligation.
Obligation.
It's parents' obligation to raise their children and keep them safe. Oblige.
Oblige. Because of poor business, the company director was obliged to lay off a number of employees to cut costs. 16.
Manipulate.
Manipulate.
Knowing perfectly how to manipulate the media, the celebrity has convinced the public that her drug scandal was just fake news.
17.
Theory.
Theory.
The theory clearly explains how negative emotions can influence people's mental health. Theoretical.
Theoretical. Having theoretical knowledge and practical skills will definitely help you to become a better engineer. 18.
Chapter.
Chapter.
The novelist's new book is so boring that I have skipped quite a few chapters.
19.
Likewise.
Likewise.
The sandwiches in that restaurant are great. Likewise, the steak there is delicious.
20.
Fuel.
Fuel.
Bloom failed the exam and made up a false report card, fueling his mother's anger.
Before starting a long-distance journey, some ships are fueled up at sea.
Fuel.
Fuel.
Mike's scooter almost ran out of fuel, so he stopped at a gas station to fill it up.
21.
Stain.
Stain.
The baseball stars' reputations were stained by taking part in game fixing.
Bruce carelessly spilled the bowl of tomato soup, and it stained the front of his sleeves.
Stain.
Stain.
Mrs. Dillon has washed her son's shirt several times, but she just can't get the stubborn stains out.
22.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Rock climbing is a dangerous sport, so beginners should seek guidance from an experienced instructor.
23.
Perspective.
Perspective.
People may have different perspectives on the very same topic, and this sometimes makes communication difficult.
24.
Cautious.
Cautious.
After witnessing a terrible work injury, Tony decided to be more cautious about operating the electronic machine. Caution.
Caution. This drug can cause serious side effects, so most pharmacists suggest that it be taken with extreme caution. 25.
Colleague.
Colleague.
Mr. Woodman is my father's colleague. They've been working together in the same branch of the bank for 10 years.
26.
Noticeably.
Noticeably.
Most young children would probably be noticeably upset if they see their parents fighting a lot. Noticeable.
Noticeable. The notice about not having homework for 3 days resulted in students' noticeable changes of mood in the class. 27.
Overwhelm.
Overwhelm.
The bakers were overwhelmed by orders after the bakery became famous on the internet.
The kid was overwhelmed with excitement during his first visit to Tokyo Disneyland. 28.
Assert.
Assert.
Despite having no alibi, the suspect still asserted his innocence and claimed he had nothing to do with the kidnapping.
29.
Integrity.
Integrity.
May is a woman of integrity because she is honest and works with principles.
30.
Compensate.
Compensate.
Mr. Gore tried to compensate for the lack of time he spent with his family by taking them on a trip for 2 weeks. Compensation.
Compensation. Ms. Morgan received 3,000 NT dollars in compensation from the airline owing to the flight delay. 31.
Impose.
Impose.
I'd like to stay in my sister's place when I visit her, but I don't want to impose on her.
To prevent the disease from spreading, several governments have decided to impose travel bans.